Hi, I'm Sean Clark. I'm standing in front of Ferris Whitney's house from the film Little Darlings. Welcome to Hollywood's Hollow Grounds. For this episode, we're going to take a look at the locations of a 1980s lost classic, Little Darlings, a film that's never been released on DVD or Blu-ray, so not too many people know it unless you were around in the 80s. Now this was not an easy location to find. Paul Hollinshead gets the big shout out for this one, saved my ass again, because this has completely been torn down and rebuilt. This was Angel's apartment building. None of this looks the same. The only thing you can really match up those buildings in the background there from when they're pulling away in the car, which would have probably been somewhere about where I'm standing or in this general vicinity. You can also see, if you look closely here, this railroad track. You can see the mound in front of the building is where this railroad track would be. So we go from Angel's apartment to Ferris's house, which is actually the Swan House. Now this is the rear of the house, and it's very difficult to get to, especially when there's a black tie affair going on. I had to do a little digging through the woods to get this footage. Not being noticed. There it is right there. Okay, in and out of here.
So for obvious reasons, I wasn't able to get this angle. If I was wearing a tux, I might have been able to sneak up there and get that shot, but instead, we ended up with what we got. So this is where the car is leaving the house. They're coming down this road just like this little cart is. And that's actually the house right there. The same house that you saw at the beginning. Both sides kind of look like the front of a house. But I believe this is the proper front because this is the main gate, main entrance. It just so happens that the rear of the house looks like a front of a house. It's just a big ass fancy mansion on a campus in downtown Atlanta. It's called the Swan House. So now we are at the beginning and the end of the film. And this is where the bus picks up the girls and drops them off. You can see those buildings in the background when Angel or Mom are sitting in the car. Right there. Angel Bright. Sounds like a cartoon character. There were light poles in different areas, but you can match up the buildings in the background. Specifically, that one there. This is right next to the CNN building and the State Farm Arena. It's all right here. It's where it happened. You can see this just over Kristen McNichol's shoulder as she's pulling her suitcase out of the car. And this would be looking in the opposite direction when Ferris Whitney's car pulls up and they stop the bus from leaving. You can match up those buildings in the background. So now we're at the entrance to Camp Little Wolf. This is where you first see the girls driving in on the bus. And this is also where you see them exiting when they steal the bus to go get some protection, shall we say. If you look over here, you'll see where the buses were parked when they pull in and from when they leave the camp. Right over here to the left, there's a little parking lot. And this is where the buses would have been. So Christy McNichol jumps in the bus, takes off, little Blondie kicks in one way or another, and they boogie around this corner here and take off in that direction. How weird is this? They're in a school bus. It's coming from this direction. And guess what? There's a school bus coming from this direction. But Angel Bright did not stop at the railroad crossing. That's not what she did. She plowed right through it. She pulled in. Right here, actually. This one just drove by, but it pulled in right here. Here is the gas station from Little Darlings where they steal the condoms in the bathroom back here. Now the owner showed up while I was here. I asked him if I could see the bathroom. He didn't know what Little Darlings was. He said, they film lots of things here. They film lots of stuff here. And I said, well, they shot a scene in the bathroom. I explained the scene to him. He wasn't impressed. I don't know you. I ain't gonna just show you my bathroom. Now, sir, do you really think I'm using a not very well-known 1980s film as a ruse completely to get into your bathroom? Completely to, I don't know, stake out your restroom? For what purpose? I don't know. Seems a little far-fetched. So I offered this gentleman $100 cash if he just let me see inside that bathroom. He said, I don't need your money. I thought I was being pretty gracious. $100 to look at a fucking bathroom. Come on, dude. That's never gonna happen in your life again. Nobody is gonna show up at your little building here and offer you $100 cash to look at your toilet. He did offer to email me a photo of the bathroom. He said, give me your email, I'll send you a photo. I said, well, here, why don't I just hand you my phone? You take a picture with my phone. And he goes, I'm trying to work with you here. Give me your email, and I'll send you the photo. Well, we'll see if that photo ever shows up. Something tells me it ain't ever gonna show up. Of course, that picture never showed up. But, you know what? It's a good thing the guy denied me, because during the editing of this episode, I realized that the bathroom has been moved. You don't really see it very well in the film, but take a look here. Look at the far right of this building. There used to be a door there. I don't know if that was something they built for the movie, or it was part of the original structure, but it's different and it's gone. Take a look at this. Now, when we see them get out of the bus, it looks like they might go around the side of the building, and I thought that that was the back corner, like you see here. But I'm like, well, that door can't be right. It would have had to have been where that window was. So if you look at the edge of the building, the architecture's the same, but pay attention to this next scene. The girl on the left-hand side, she steps in and leans against the wall right there. So it's actually set back. Well, I noticed this other scene right here, a freeze frame on it. Look to the far right. It is a door on the other side. It was right here. Now it's gone. So, mystery solved, and I appreciate that guy being a jerk, because you just saved me $100 cash.
Hey, right on.
So now we head back to Camp Little Wolf and get to the good stuff. You know, the camp stuff. When the girls come walking into the camp, they're heading down this little hill here and heading in this direction. You can see all those buildings in the background, still standing today. The girls then walk along this path here. That building to the left has changed, but this one here, which is the girls' cabin, pretty much looks exactly the way it did in the film. So this is where they get in line to enter the cabin. They go through this side door here. And this is where the little girl gets denied entry and gets sent away with the little kids. But don't worry, she'll come back. You girls are gonna bunk over there. No way. So the girls' beds are right here. as you can see, it looks exactly the same. It's crazy. Here's where the hippie girl, and I guess we'll refer to as the chubby girl that never really speaks but has a bunch of junk food. Their beds are over in this corner here. Right over here is where the bookworm girl's bunk was. I don't remember the actress's name, please forgive me, but she was also in Pretty in Pink. She was Molly Ringwald's friend in Pretty in Pink, and unfortunately she passed away soon after that film. Died at a very, very young age. Here's where you can get sort of a wide shot of the girls sitting in their bunks when the bitchy girl proposes a contest. Who could lose their virginity first? When I was 9 years old, I would have liked to have been involved in that contest. I know it's young, but my little hormones were kicking in hard for Christy. I would have liked to have facilitated services if possible, you know. Not saying now, because, you know, I'm 50 now. That's weird. But at 9 or 10 or whatever I was, I thought I could have taken care of business. Probably didn't even know what business was then. Knew I wanted business, but didn't know the actual nature of said business.
No. You wouldn't have the guts. You just lost $100, sucker.
One of the coolest things about this location is, I mean, it pretty much just looks exactly the same. I mean, it's crazy to me. This camp became famous from the film Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Right here, you can see in the film, in both films actually, sort of a white circle kind of symbol right here. It's very faint. You can see it somewhat, but it's very visible in both films. This is the corner bunk where the bitchy model girl had her bunk, and she had all her pictures of herself, her modeling photos and headshots taped up to these shelves right here. This is crazy to me that I'm here. I mean, when I saw this movie in 1980 as an impressionable little 9/10-year-old, I mean, I was already a huge fan of Meatballs. And this was sort of like the girls' version of Meatballs. And it was a movie that had a heart. You have the theme of the girls dealing with sex and peer pressured into having sex at an early age. It has its heartwarming story at the end, or a message, if you will, along with the zany antics of food fights and all the other stuff that goes along with camp movies. But I think this is an underrated gem. A lot of people don't know it because it's never on DVD or Blu-ray. You know, it was never released. It was only released on VHS. So unless you're old school, or just old, like me, you probably don't even know this movie exists. In fact, you're more than likely watching this video because of Friday the 13th Part 6, just to see more footage. But anyway, either way, enjoy. This is awesome. I'm stoked. It's right over here where Ferris, bug flew in my mouth. It's right over here where Ferris was sitting, sunbathing. They had some sand. You can see there's still remnants of some sand, but they had full sand going on in this area back then.
Then Ferris takes off running down the dock. Like she always does. When she says something cute, she just takes off running. It's her thing in this movie. Christy smokes, she runs.
Did not think I was going to find this. I do believe this is the rock the girls are sitting on, spying on the boys in the camp across the way. That is awesome. I didn't think I was going to find this rock. I just stumbled upon it. So cool. And they're looking in that direction. Looking at a lot of trees, but there is water over that way, so they're supposedly looking at another camp across the lake.
Wow!
enough of that nonsense. Now, this location here I was super stoked to find because I had no idea if it was actually on the camp or not, and it is.
Ah, sweet. Yes, found it. So the camp is way up there. If you come down this trail, you'll find this area. This is where they had the little powwow. I don't think you can say that anymore. But this is where they had the little chat about fessing up to the truth that Ferris didn't really win and all that nonsense. And there's the water right there. This is pretty amazing. Didn't think I was going to find this spot because all the stuff online is Friday the 13th related. But nobody found this, to my shock and surprise. Right there is where the little hippie girl hits the bitchy girl. And you can see the lake in the background. I knew it was down here. I knew it. I knews it. I knews it. And now I seen it. I seen it for my own eyes. This is amazing. I mean, come on. Camp Little Wolf, Camp Forest Green, Camp Crystal Lake, potato. Call it what you like. It's friggin' awesome. I'm a happy camper, yet I'm not camping, but I'm at a campground. Hard Labor Park. This is amazing. I'm having a great time by myself, but now I'm with you guys, enjoying this together. Well, I made the long trek out to this 4-H club facility. I mean, it looks pretty impressive. I mean, it's like full-on gate. Looks really nice and everything. You know, thought maybe, you know, this is only 3 though. That's got 4, so not a member, I guess. Boy, I'm looking a little, I'm getting some color today. Been out in the sun a lot. Anyway, I made the trek all the way out here to show you the location of where the swimming pool used to be from Little Darlings. It used to be here. I'll show you some aerial shots to show that it's, you know, been removed and it's gone. I was going to go to the spot just to basically say, look, that's where it was. It's no longer there. But this was a long journey out to get to this place, and I came a little late. It's like 6:30 p.m. You know, it's the closest I was to this today. So I'm showing you I made the effort. And I don't even know if I could get in here when it is open, because this might be a full private thing. I don't know what this 4-H stuff's all about. I don't know. It has something to do with cookies? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Anywho, it is like a camp of some sort. This is where the pool was. They didn't have a pool at the camp from Little Darlings, so they went here. They had a very impressive pool, but now it's gone. So off to the next location.
Sometimes during the editing process, you make discoveries. Case in point, this bridge that I was trying to find like crazy. I was going through Google Earth all around Hard Labor State Park trying to find this bridge, and I just couldn't find it. Well, I stumbled upon it during the editing of this episode, and it's actually at that 4-H club, the same location where the pool used to be. This bridge exists. I wish I had the chance to see it, and had I known that bridge was there, I would have come back and tried to get in there when the place was open. But for now, at least we know where it is.
Right here's the picnic table where Angel and her mother sat and had lunch during Parents' Day. My rental car in the background. Right here was Armando Sante's cabin, the counselor that Tatum O'Neal tries to seduce. Let's go take a look inside. Right here is where Armando Sante's desk was, right in front of that window. And you can see this black mark right here on the windowsill that's still there today. He's sitting there typing away. Ferris walks in that door right there to come chat to the counselor.
As you can see, the rock work is still exactly the same on the fireplace. Ferris walks over here, picks up the wine, tries to get him to do some illegal activities with a minor, frowned upon. And he stood his ground, like a good man should, stood his ground. Right here was the couch where Tatum and Whitney was sitting there talking to Armand Rasante.
I envy Juliet.
Who?
You know Romeo and Juliet. Didn't you love it? It was so romantic. Oh.
Sure is a hot night tonight.
Then he sees her to the door. And then Whitney takes off, running towards her cabin into the darkness. Good thing for her, Jason wasn't lurking here yet. That's 6 years later. So I believe this structure here used to be, even though it's sort of outdoorsy, it just has screens on it. I believe this was the open area where they had the little play they were doing. So this is from the other side. So you can still see through. You can see the building in the background. So she would have walked out from right here and walked up to Randy. Now the tree looks a little closer, but it might be this one right here. This might be the tree he was standing against. It's a little bit further away than it looks in the film, but that could just be the lens they're using. So Matt Dillon and the bitchy girl are sitting in the middle of this room here on the benches. And you can see the cafeteria thing in the background there. And they're watching the play. And you can see from those structures in the background, this confirms my conclusion that this was the staging area they've just enclosed. It's right about here would have been where Matt Dillon was sitting. And this would be where Christy was sitting, watching Matt, trying to make her jealous. Matt then follows Christy over to right here where they have the conversation about what really went down. They then walk this way. And they stop here, and it's where she tells them that she lost and that she didn't tell them. And then Matt Dillon feels kind of like sort of a douche. And here's where they had their big kiss. And she lets him down easy. Then they show Angel walking off in this direction, which is actually exiting the camp. Doesn't really make sense that she's walking this way. But then it cuts to a different location. The Christy walking up from this direction, which is the complete opposite direction she was walking away from, which is way over there. Now she's walking up from what would be the lake over to where Ferris is waiting right here.
So, this building here, that's the dining hall. This is where the tire swing was located, just outside of the dining hall. In Friday the 13th Part 6, that tire swing was down by the dock. But anyway, this building was a bit of a mystery to me, because you can see this is the building. It has not changed. And I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on with this dining hall, because they used the interior of this dining hall in Friday the 13th Part 6 as the girls' cabin. But I was sure that it had to be the same dining hall used in Little Darlings. Because if you look here, it kind of looks like it's got the stone chimney and everything. But you look at that, you start to look around, it does not match up. There are significant differences. Specifically that room over to the right. So I had to do some research. And after I left this camp, I made a discovery. They used another camp. And we're going to go there right now.
Here's the dining hall from Little Darlings. It's amazing. It looks a lot like the one from Friday the 13th Part 6, but for some reason, they came over to a completely different camp to film the dining hall scenes. Look,
Even a little wood pile thing, just like Friday 13th Part 6. Uncanny.
And now we are inside the dining hall at Camp Rutledge. This is where the big food fight took place. And you can see it says Camp Rutledge right above the fireplace. Doesn't say it in the movie. But here are various shots I matched up from inside the dining hall. Looking in various directions. Whoop. And here's where Kristen McNichol is heading towards her table, trying to get that shot as best as I could. If you look over to the right, you can see like some artwork on that bulletin board thing over there. Pretty much looks exactly the way it did in the film. Now, one thing I did happen to notice is recently I was watching the trailer for Fear Street, which is coming out on Netflix soon, and I recognized the inside of this, well, this whole camp actually. There it is. Featured in the new Fear Street. Also at Camp Rutledge was the dock and beach for the boys' camp. So you can see Matt Dillon here sees Christy and jumps in, and they go off together. This was such a cool location to find. I had no idea this was shot there as well until I did some poking around. It was a long day to say the least. What a beautiful location both of these were. I mean, it was just so peaceful out there. Just me and nature. Being film geeks together.
Two of my favorite films of all time. Little Darlings, Friday 13th Part 6. This has been a real pleasure, a real treat for me. And I really appreciate Hard Labor State Park, and they were so accommodating. I can't even thank you enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again on another adventure. You know it.